when this took place, both of these events took place, P. Diddy, Puffy, and Snoop got on and they interviewed and they said, we got to bring it together. And it was a way of them trying to bring peace. Let's bring West Coast, East Coast together. You could tell there was fear in both of them, because if this continues, he's probably next. There's a lot of other people that are going to be next, so they're trying to bring peace.
Yeah, well, particularly Snoop Dogg, I think he was in the middle of it. Dre didn't really want anything to do with all the violence and nonsense going on around death row, which is why he ultimately
that's since day one with Dre.
He just wanted to produce and do his thing and make great music. So he wasn't about all this drama that was going on. Snoop also, he just wanted to, he wanted to do the same thing for all intent and purposes, make music. He wanted to be able to go to New York and do things out in New York and promote his music out there. But this conflict going on between them was making all of that very difficult.
Did you watch that when that interview took place, when they were trying to bring peace? Like, do you when you're investigating, do you look at those types of things or not at all?
Oh, of course we do.
Like, hey, we're really not trying to hurt anybody, nothing really happened. Or does that actually bring more attention to say, why is he getting on there saying something like this now? Does it put more of a target on him for saying that, or no?
Personally, I think he would have preferred there be a truce, a peace.
Pre both of these events or post?
Prior.
Okay.
And after, both. Because I think he knew how dangerous this was over here. He's a New Yorker. He's not a gangster by nature. He's just a guy who wants to make music and be an entrepreneur and not have to deal with all of the crap that was going on around Suge Knight. When it got really bad was when they were in Atlanta, and both of these guys and their entourages were at a nightclub, and they got into a little squabble over some girls on the dance floor, and one thing led to a pushing match, and then of course security tells them all to go outside, and then his bodyguard pulls a gun and shoots and kills his bodyguard. So now there's blood on the ground. He holds him responsible for the death of his friend, and the conflict is really bad. This all takes place long before these guys get killed.
How much before?
So that shooting in that was in 95 in Atlanta.
Okay, so a year before.
So a year before this. And of course, even before that, 94, he gets assaulted at the Quad Studios in New York and believes that both Puffy and Diddy, at least for a little while initially, he thought that Puffy and Diddy had set him up and they were responsible for that, that robbery. I don't think so whatsoever. And I think he came to learn that it wasn't these guys.
In here, amongst these guys, is it fair to say that these three were not gangsters? He was the only one?
Correct. Definitely not these guys. He was a drug dealer, just a street corner guy. Of course, Diddy was coming up in the music business and kept his nose clean for all intent and purposes. Suge was definitely from the neighborhood. He wanted that whole gang atmosphere and reputation to be what death row was. And Tupac ended up kind of becoming an affiliate of the gang that Suge Knight represented, which was the Mob Pyrus. He was not a gang member in any way, shape, or form, but he certainly was associating with them and claiming them because he was looking for
protection.
Not only protection, but a sense of, for lack of a better brotherhood and belonging.
Which is most of them, though, right? Most. If you get into a gang, you're missing something. There's not a father figure. There's not a French brother you have, so you kind of want to get into something. But based on what I read, is Tupac had a lot of different personalities. One day he's the entertainer, one day we're taking over the world, one day it's a philosopher, one day it's the gangster, so you didn't know who really showed up. So, even him not necessarily taking claims of one certain city, whether it's Baltimore, New York, LA, what are you really representing, right?
Yeah.
But he was man of the people, yet not really affiliated to any gang. So, background-wise, would you say he wasn't like an OG gangster compared to him?
Oh, no, none whatsoever. He was a complicated guy, but he certainly wasn't, a gang member.
Okay.
We call him an affiliate just by this, just by nature of the fact that he's affiliating or associating with them.
But you don't call him a gangster or a gang member? So,
not at all.
Got it.
Not at all. But we do have to remember that he was at odds with these guys when he was in jail. Suge was the one that came out there and rescued him, got the bail money up, brought him to Los Angeles, allowed him to make some, phenomenal music. And so he saw in Suge a big brother or possibly father figure or mentor. And then, of course, Suge Knight's entourage embraced Tupac, and he saw with them a sense of belonging.